Hello, I'm Justin Murray, and welcome to a new segment I like to call the BlackTrack, where I take a look back at all the melanated movies from the past and the present. Some good, some not so good. The only criteria is that it has an all-black cast, or at least a majority black cast, or a black lead. Today I'm going to be taking a look back at Boyz in the Hood, the 1991 directorial debut by John Singleton. It is considered a classic in black cinema and a landmark film that has since been chosen for preservation by the Library of Congress for being culturally and historically significant. That's pretty amazing considering the film was almost never made, since Singleton had trouble finding a studio who would take the damn thing. Finally finding a home with Columbia Pictures. The movie is loosely based on Singleton's life growing up, which makes it one part drama, one part documentary, but all gangster. The movie launched the careers of several actors, including not only Cuba Gooding Jr. and Nia Long, but also the acting career of Ice Cube, who went on to have major success in Hollywood, and in my opinion, makes the entire movie. It comes across like he's not even playing a character, he's just being Ice Cube. The most accomplished actor in the entire movie is Lawrence Fishburne, who was playing Cowboy Curtis on Pee-wee's Playhouse at the time, a job I'm sure he was all too willing to give up for this film. I'll be doing a small review of the movie, going over most of the major plot points, and at the end I'll let you know how I feel it stacks up to today's standards. So how good is Boyz in the Hood really? Let's BlackTrack and find out. We start the movie with young Trey Styles waiting at the corner to walk to school with his friends. You could immediately tell one of them is up to no good. How do you ask? The backwards cap. Duh. So edgy. South Central ain't got no love for Reagan and Bush? I'm immediately proven right as backwards cap kid takes his friends to the scene of a murder that the local PD didn't even bother to clean up. Damn. It's here that Trey showcases his surprisingly superior intellect for a kid his age.
Why is the blood turning yellow? That's what happens when it separates from the plasma.
How the hell does he know that? I didn't even know that at that age. It's too bad Trey doesn't take school as serious as his knowledge of blood plasma, but he's a total class clown. Teacher is fed up with his tomfoolery and tells him he could teach the class himself since he has so much to say. That was a mistake on her part because young Trey Styles has been itching for an opportunity to showcase his Hotep knowledge.
That's right, that's Africa. But did you know that Africa is the place where the body of the first man was found? It means everybody's really from Africa. Everybody. Oh, y'all.
Too bad social media wasn't around back then because Trey Styles would have known that there's always at least one guy in the comment section who puts an end to all that bean pie banter.
I'm from Africa, I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. I'm from Africa, you from Africa, you African booty scratcher.
This causes a fight that gets Trey into more trouble than he already was, and prompts the teacher to call home to his mother, played by the always amazing Angela Bassett, who doesn't take no BS in this movie. Dang dude, you almost beat the call home. Maybe you shouldn't have been so nosy on your way home. What did you think was going to happen when you got there? Apparently, Trey signed a contract that said if he didn't stop acting up, he'd have to go live with his father Furious, played by Lawrence Fishburne. So off he goes to a neighborhood, to me honestly, that doesn't look all that bad. I mean, this looks a million times better than the neighborhood that Trey walked to school in, and there's not a backwards cap in sight. Hey yo Lawrence, are you wearing whammies? Oh no, never mind, I see the pockets. For those who don't know, whammies are what we used to call jogging pants with no pockets growing up. All of Trey's partners in crime are here. Wait, that was bad terminology. All of his friends are here, including Young Doughboy, Young Ricky, and Young Chris. I gotta say, I don't know what the big deal is about being forced to stay here, other than the fact that Furious makes him do chores, which he should have totally been doing living with his mother anyway, I'm just saying. I mean, it's not like he's avoiding anything, because on the very first night there's a break-in and holy shit, look at the size of that hand cannon. You could tell Furious was waiting on an opportunity for somebody to try him up, and he had the chance to use that. It's too bad he missed though.
Don't say that. Just would have been contributing to killing another brother.
Oh, excuse me, brother. I guess we know where Trey got his hotepery from. Even cops act like it's just routine to them, with the black cop being especially dismissive, much to the chagrin of Furious.
Something wrong? Something wrong? Yeah. It's just too bad you don't know what it is. Brother.
Yeah, brother, I'm starting to see how you got your name. The next morning, or what I'm going to assume is the next morning because nobody in the movie can seem to agree on it, Doughboy is across the street getting roasted by his moms.
Is that it? I gotta go.
Hell no, it ain't it. It ain't it till I say it's it, damn it. Is that it? Boy, don't get smart with me because I'll knock your ass in the middle of next week.
Jeez, lady, how about some positive reinforcement? On the flip side, she's extra nice to Ricky because he's going to play football when he grows up, and that's her ticket out of the hood. She's mad nosy though.
How come your dad don't come over here and play cards with us no more? I know he don't think he's better than the rest of us. He still got that same girlfriend? Must be too busy shooting at people. I heard what happened over that other night.
Oh, so it was the other night, not last night?
Yo, I heard Fury shot at somebody last night.
No, so it was last night? Jeez, make up your mind. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that the boys spot young Brandy across the street. While Ricky and Doughboy fight over her, Trey puts in good FaceTime. Smart man. They all get up with young Chris and do their best Stand By Me impression. But this is Crenshaw, so you don't have to go far to find a dead body in this movie. Since this is an everyday occurrence apparently, a couple of guys come over and inquire about borrowing Ricky's football, totally disregarding the dead body. Oh, and one of the guys is wearing whammies. But anybody who's ever owned a bike growing up should know that you never let the neighborhood kid just borrow your bike. You'll never see it again. The same should be applied for everything in life.
Throw the ball, little man. I ain't going to take it. I got enough money to buy me 100 balls. Shit.
Predictably, the ball is stolen from Ricky, and Doughboy's Napoleon complex not having that. He tries his best Karate Kid impression and tries to sweep the leg, but he's pimp slapped for his efforts. They turn to leave, but old boy in the whammy starts feeling bad for Ricky and decides to give him his ball back. Yo, I wanted to play ball too when I grew up, little man.
Man.
Jesus, Rick, I hope you're not trying to be a wide receiver when you grow up. Doughboy decides he wants to go to the store despite not having any money, and what could possibly go wrong with that? Oh, they get arrested for stealing. And for once, Brenda doesn't like it when everybody else is in her business instead of her being in everybody else's. Oh, don't go in the house now. We fast forward 7 years and everybody's all grown up. Ricky even managed to have a child in the meantime. Yo, dude, I thought you was the chosen one. You've been slipping. Baby Moms is there also, who's played by Alicia Rogers, who looks like this now. Good Lord, black don't crack. Damn, Ricky, what she had for breakfast yesterday, dude? There's a party going on for Doughboy, who's just getting out of jail. I know the movie kind of makes it seem like he's just been in there this whole time, but Brenda lets us know that he's just been in and out. Just in case you didn't know who young Chris was, the movie makes it easy for you by making him wear a hat with his name on it. Thanks, Boys in the Hood. I could have easily mistaken him for one of the other two friends that they picked up along the way, Monster and Dookie. So for years, I thought this dude's name was Dury with an R, but it's actually Dookie with a K. And I'm just learning this in 2019. I'll be damned. Trey shows up, and he's now played by Cuba Gooding Jr. John Singleton must have really wanted him because he's one of the few actors in the movie who looks like a completely different person all grown up. Fun fact, apparently Cuba Gooding Jr. was the first guy to walk into the door to audition for Trey. Because John Singleton had little to no auditioning experience and was hungry and ready to go eat lunch, he just took the first guy to walk through the door, which was Cuba Gooding Jr. Supposedly he was even wearing the same outfit that we see here. Talk about a wardrobe budget. Older Brandy is there, now played by Nia Long, and I'm assuming she's only there to see if Trey will show up, who she's been dating. Because he's been avoiding her, he tries to act like he doesn't see her at the party. You see, Trey wants to do some body rock and knocking the boots, and Brandy isn't having that because she's Catholic. Looks like the only hands that would be laid on her will be done by the pastor, buddy. If you think the neighborhood has gotten any better in 7 years, then guess again. Because on the way home, Trey is nearly the victim of vehicular homicide with a side of gun violence. Jesus Christ. He took it to the chin though, because if it was me... Hey, yo, Furious, what you up to? These nuts. It appears Furious has reached his final hotel phone. He even shuns pork now, so you know it's real. We did get a scene that's always been kind of weird to me, because Trey feels the need to lie to his father about whether he's had sex or not. I don't know if he did it so that he wouldn't look lame in front of his father, which makes no sense, or if he did it to make himself look cool, which backfires magnificently. I guess it has something to do with a man needing to have sex to prove he's a man, but it kind of confused me. The look on Trey's face though shows that it didn't really quite go the way he thought it would. Later, Trey tries to confide in his friend about being a virgin, and it goes about as well as you thought it would with two high schoolers.
I was afraid.
But Trey got the slick shade on deck for Ricky.
What you afraid of, man?
Being a daddy.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, like you, Negro. Then we get a montage just showing an average day in the hood. Ricky is practicing football, doing what he does best, which is running the ball and definitely not catching it. Trey is still trying to talk his way into them draws, using classic 1980s lines such as,
and I say that I'm gonna be the one who marries you. So technically, it don't make no difference whether we do it now or later, we're still gonna get married, right?
There ain't no guarantee that I'm gonna marry you.
The highlight of this entire montage is a crackhead that gets the crap beat out of him for trying to steal the chain. He runs right into these obviously placed trash cans without even trying to leap over one or even go around them. I actually spoke to this crackhead while researching this movie. Well, he's not actually a crackhead, but he's a musician named LJ. Check him out. Ricky knows that the only reason his mom's let him play football so much is so he could be their ticket out of the hood. So he goes ahead and gets this party started by having a college recruiter come by. He shows him a couple of highlight tapes, but is lost to the fact that you actually have to take the SAT and have a major to go to college. How has he made it all this time without nobody in his high school telling him that? This recruiter is here to give him all the confidence that he needs though.
Young brother, I think you can do anything you put your mind to.
Brought to you by the United Negro College Fund. Cue the test taking montage. Man, this SAT is kicking my ass, dude. Jeez. It doesn't matter if you did good on it or not, Ricky, because Furious is here to tell you what those type of tests are all about.
Most of those tests are culturally biased to begin with. The only part that's universal is in math.
Furious ain't got no time for no standardized tests. There's more important stuff going on in the hood. He takes the boys to Compton to give the sermon on the block about gentrification, a message that actually still resonates in today's world. Before we get all serious about ownership and property values, it's flex time, Negroes. Can't be worrying about all that when there's a party going on. Besides, there's a better time to have a theological discussion anyway.
Okay, there was a guy. Why be letting motherfuckers get smoked every night? Babies and little kids, you tell me that.
All the usual suspects are here, but that also means that all the rival gangs are here also, and they just been itching for some friction with Crenshaw. Ricky gets pushed, but he's not just gonna take it to the chin like Trey did. Oh no, he's a big muscular football player, so he can hold his own. But Doughboy says, forget all that. You got pecs, I got techs, and diffuses the situation. At least for a little while, because shortly after, some automatic gunshots ring out and everybody gets the hell out of Dodge. John Singleton actually didn't tell any of the cast when the shots were coming or where they were coming from, so the reactions are real. Especially nerve-wracking when you consider they were surrounded by actual gang members who were beefing with each other, who would show up to the set periodically to see how things were going. He only gave instructions to Ice Cube to floor it whenever he heard the shots. Something that Ice Cube did almost a little too well, almost running over a guy in the process. God damn. Way home, Trey gets pulled over by the same cop that came to his house when he was a child. But of course he doesn't recognize him because he has a completely different face and complexion. This upsets Trey enough to the point that he shows his sensitive side in front of Brandy, which finally convinces her to put that lace in his face. Later on, Ricky is still stressing about that SAT to the point that he's ready to join the army. He's like, to hell with football, the army talking about getting me a Charger, or at least a Camaro, but food comes first, and his baby mom's asking him to go get something from the store. He tries to pawn off his responsibilities on Doughboy like any good brother would, but Doughboy ain't having it, and he's tired of being the family afterthought. They get into a little tussle reminiscent of their childhood, but Brenda breaks it up and blames Doughboy for the whole thing, while Ricky storms off with Trey to go to the store. What, John Singleton, you thought we wasn't gonna notice that you was the mailman? Brother Hotep Supreme hears Ricky's plans to go into the military, but he wants to hear nothing of it.
And my daddy told me a black man has got no business, no place in the white man's army.
It's here where I'm about to talk about the ending of the movie. If you want to watch the movie for yourself and don't want the ending spoiled, then stop the video right here and come back later. They picked the absolute worst time to stroll to the store though, because the Bloods from Compton are still trolling the streets, and they haven't forgotten about that little war of the words that Ricky had with them at the flex. Trey and Ricky draw a quick little football play in the sand before they execute. Alright, break. Doughboy sees the red blood car ride in the neighborhood and remembers that his brother is out there, so he takes off after him. Dawg, you picked the worst time to have to use the bathroom. Keep moving, dude. What are you doing? Unfortunately, Doughboy can't get there in time to save his brother, and there's no real way to make a joke about the situation as Ricky is gunned down by a shotgun. It's a sad reminder of how gun violence can affect people who are furthest away from the criminal element just simply by being in their environment. They take Ricky home instead of the hospital because Dr. Trey has already given his diagnosis.
He's dead.
There's chaos over at Brenda's house again with everybody reeling from the effects of Ricky's death. Tyra Farrell gives an excellent performance as a grieving mother, and you really feel it and feel for her as you watch the scene. Unsung actress there. Trey really does think he's tough now and goes home to get his father's hand cannon. Furious is there to head him off though, and he knows that this is a teachable moment that he has to handle delicately. He's able to get through to him for a brief moment, but psych your mind, you don't need your gun. His homie's got enough money to buy 100 guns. Shoot. We get a couple of shots of the crew riding around looking for the killers, mixed in with Furious nutting up, and Brenda realizing that Ricky has scored just enough on his SAT to make it into college, which makes the situation even more upsetting. Trey has enough time to have a moment of clarity and decide that he's actually not about that life. I'm sure he's thinking, damn man, I left some cut up at the house for this. What was I thinking? He gets out right on time because shortly after, they find the killers who are just casually enjoying some fast food after killing a man. Crazy. Doughboy gives them all the time in the world to escape and react, because for some reason in California, everybody takes about 10 to 15 seconds to decide if it's actually a drive-by or not. Me personally, I would rather run first and let everybody laugh at me later. They didn't take advantage of their grace period though, and they're gunned down right there in the parking lot. Doughboy isn't done though, and gets out of the car to make sure that the job is done. even stopping to pause for dramatic effect. Man, this is gonna sell so many posters and t-shirts. Later that night, we see that Trey and Furious have another awkward encounter. Like, is he mad at him? Is he happy he's home? Why can't you two ever have solid closure? The next morning, Doughboy reflects on his brother's death and everything that he's done. He appears to actually show remorse for what he did, but knows that he's a product of his environment, and that's gonna come to bite him later on. He laments that outside of the hood, nobody actually acknowledges what goes down in their neighborhood. He also mentions that he has no brother or no mother left. But Trey reassures him that
You still got one brother left, man.
so just to hell with Lil Chris, huh? Trey and Brandy, on the other hand, can't wait to get the hell out of Crenshaw and attend college on the other side of the country in Atlanta, GA. And can you blame them? Boyz in the Hood was a critical and financial success, making $57 million on a $6 million budget. But does it stand up to today's standards? I'm gonna have to say yes. I'm gonna grade everything on here on an A through F scale, and Boyz in the Hood gets a solid A+ from me. It's one of those movies I can watch over and over again, no matter how many times it comes on, and it tackles a lot of issues that are still prevalent in today's society. Thank you guys for joining me today, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll be back next week hopefully with another movie. Until then, right on.